Alright, so this is a 1994 Cr125. We finished this bike up last video, but we ran into a pretty big problem. So the cylinder, when we put the head on, was actually leaking coolant. And we did a temporary fix where we put some gasket maker around there, and that seemed to hold, but it needs to be fixed. So what I think happened was the previous owner went to install a stud, and when he went to install the stud, it left a mark on the cylinder, and there's like big grooves now in the cylinder. So what we're going to try to do today is take the cylinder off and sand that down on some glass and see if we can get that to work and seal correctly, because I don't like using gasket maker on a head gasket. So we're going to tear it all back down and try to do this the right way. Hopefully we can fix it. If not, I think we'll have to order up a new cylinder. So we will see. Let's get going with this project, and hopefully today this bike can be finished up. Alright, this thing also needs to be jetted a tad richer. It sounds pretty lean to me, so we'll have to do that as well. But let's get all the plastics off. We'll drain that coolant out and try to get that cylinder off. Alright, we'll check the plug here, see what that looks like. No, it's not white. Doesn't look too bad. has a little clip here that you can pop out of here. Like that. And that comes off like that, and there's a little spacer on there. Oop, don't want to drop that in the side of the engine here. There we go. You can see the imperfections in the cylinder. See right there, those lines. And there's some over there too. And what the gasket maker did was fill in those lines so that coolant wouldn't drip through. I don't want to have to rely on the gasket maker for those to seal. Getting held up by something here. There we go. Alright, cylinder's off. See how the piston's holding up here? Looks pretty good. Rod bearing still feels nice and tight. Alright, so in order to get this level, we need to take off these caps right here. Now we have to take these studs out. So to do that, we're going to grab two of the nuts. Twist those on. Hopefully these come out. They look like they're a little rusty. on there. Back these up. So let's see what happens. Nope. Those are on there. Well, that's not working. Alright, we were able to budge this one. Let's see, it's moving. There we go. Coming. So what I think happened was the previous owner, when he installed these, used a tool and it bottomed out against the cylinder, and maybe he didn't realize it, and it caused those grooves. That's what I'm thinking. Alright, one out, 4 more to go. Alright, the rest of these are not budging. We'll try a little heat, see if that helps. Get the rest of them out. Ooh, that's hot. That one came out. Alright, we got this one off. We just hit that with a ton of heat, and finally it budged. So we've got one more to go after this one. Isn't too bad. Ooh, it's hot. Let that one cool off and we'll work on getting that last one out. Alright, we got the last one to budge here. That one's out. Alright, so all the studs are out. Now we can get some glass and sand that down. We've got 220 grit sandpaper, and then we're going to finish it off with 400 grit. Alright, we've got 400 grit sandpaper on the glass here. And we're just going to spray a little bit of water down here. And then we'll take our cylinder and start sanding away. See if it's nice and flat here. I think we have to take the power valves out. I think these little guys are sticking up too far. Alright, we got the power valves out. Let's try this again. Alright, you can see it's working. They're slowly going away. It's getting really close now. See, this is where they were. They're disappearing. Alright, perfectly smooth. We're going to go to 400 grit and just really polish that up. Alright, that's after 400 grit. I think that's good. We're going to quick do the head and we'll put this thing back together. Alright, these are all cleaned up. Alright, we did the head. That looks really good. And then the cylinder. So, got the power valves back installed. We can now reinstall the studs here. Get those started. And then we're going to put them in the same way we took them out. Make sure the piston doesn't come past the deck. Alright. Alright, get your head gasket on here. Alright, torque specs are 18 foot-pounds, so let's get those torqued. Crisscross pattern here. Alright, all the hoses are back on, we've got the engine mount back on, so let's fill this thing up and see if it leaks. Thinks it's gonna leak here. I really hope it does not. far so good. Alright, we're just going to try to quick start it up, and we'll keep an eye on the cylinder here, see what happens. Alright, absolutely zero leaking. So that is all fixed. That worked out pretty well. Looks clean in there. Alright, so for the main jet, it looks like we're running a 172. Okay, that was clear. Pilot looks like a 58. So let's see what we're supposed to have here. Alright, so it actually recommends we go with a 168 main jet and a 55 pilot. And then 1.5 turns out on the air screw. Let's see where we're at right now. So it actually recommends going leaner than what we're at. So it turns out we were 1, 2, we were 2.5. So we'll go 1.5. 1.5 there. And we'll try going lower in those jets. Alright, we found a 168 main here. 168 main. That can go in. Now we just have to find the correct pilot. 55. Alright, the closest pilot I had was a 52. We're going to put the 58 back in, and then we'll twist the air screw out a little bit. Alright, FMF recommends needle position to be third clip here. Alright. We're in the second. So you always count down the clip. So right now it's in the second because it's in the second groove from the top. We're going to go to the third, which is right there. I'll show you guys once we got it in. There, now we're in the third clip from the top here. So, reinstall that. Looks good. Alright, that sounds much better. You can see the throttle response is much better. So I think this one's fixed. Let's go take it for a ride. Alright, now that we got the 1994 Cr125 fixed up, let's work on this project bike. So this is a 1975 GT80. So you guys watched the last video on this. We actually got it running, but it wouldn't run right. It was really boggy, super underpowered, and it would smoke a ton. So it was actually smoking a bunch of the crankcase oil, and typically that means that the crank seals are gone. So specifically this crank seal on the right hand side. So today we're going to be taking off this cover and replacing those crank seals, the other side as well. And we'll see if that fixes our problem. So here are the seals. We got them from Yamaha. So I'm hoping that's going to be the fix. Alright, that's draining out, that looks good. Quite a bit of oil in there yet. So we'll let that drain and we'll work on getting the side cover off here. So there we go. Now we have to get the pump off. So oil is going to pour out of here, right back here. All right, there we go. There's the pump. Alright, we're in. So yeah, look at the crank seal. It's completely backed out of there. That's crazy. So we were right about that. Look at that, that's supposed to be in there. So that would be the solution. Well, glad we looked into that. So that confirms that problem. You can see in there. See, this is the seal, and oil can just go right through that bearing into the crankcase and smoke all that oil out. So you can see that's supposed to be pushed in. So it's just worn out and probably just pushed out of there. But yeah, that was the problem. Gear off of here. I believe it's the same size as the clutch. Yep. There's the nut. Should pull right off. You can see there's that was in there. Alright, we gotta get the woodruff key out. There we go. We're able to budge that. Alright, now this can pull out of there. And you can see the seal came right with it. So you can see how worn out that is. So here's the new one. Alright, it looks like both sides have a spring on these, so I guess it doesn't matter which way it goes. Huh, interesting. But look at the difference now. You push this in. It grabs a lot more. So that's not as worn out. Here's the old one, here's the new one. So let's push that into place. Alright, as you can see, it's now flush with the case. So now we can put everything back together. Alright, got that back on. This was missing the piece right here when we bought the bike. We bought a new cover off of eBay. Alright, whole clutch size put back together. Let's work on this seat. We got a new seat cover for it. Alright, as you can see, seat cover's all taped up, pretty crappy. This is interesting, there's just like little clips that hold this seat cover on. See that? There's not staples, which is kind of nice actually. So it just crimps over the seat cover. That makes for easy changing. Yeah, I like that. See, this one says Yamaha on it, on the back. Wait, heat that up a little bit. It's a little stiff. Alright, that's done. That turned out pretty good. Alright, that looks a lot better. Once we get this pressure washed off, it'll look really nice. Alright, let's make sure the stator side's good to go. Come on. Always a pain to get off. Ouch. Let's cover alright. 19. There we go. Let's see here. Looks like that's going on. So it pops off here. That's easy. Flywheel looks like. Magnets all look good. Alright. Might clean the points one more time if we're in here. But looks like the screw right there and screw right there, those are stripped out, so that's exciting. Ooh, that's not coming. We can try to hit it with a hammer. See if it makes a difference here. It's still pretty stuck on there. That one broke free actually. Wow. Alright, that worked. Oh, just one more to go. Oh, that one broke free too. And that seal actually looks pretty decent, but we'll try to fish that out and replace it. It looks like it might be leaking from the bottom. Yep. So it's leaking a little bit from the bottom here. I can feel oil. So what we're going to do is screw into that and try to yank that out of there. We just have a screw here. We're gonna try to there we go. There's the old seal. Just gonna wipe that out quick. Now this goes with the spring down that way. Bottom that out. All right, that's good to go. We can put everything back together, and that's all fixed. All right, we got some oil in it. Let's get some premix in there. All right, let's see if she fires up here. Burning off all that old oil. Lots of oil probably in the crankcase yet. See, it's burning off. Oiling good though. That's a good sign. Yeah, look at all that oil. Holy cow. Burning off a lot. looks like the crank seals fixed up this bike. No more bogging. Runs really good. One thing I want to do is just a small clutch adjustment, but other than that, it's good to go. So obviously we're going to pressure wash it, make it look nice, and this bike will be done. Alright, made it out to the land. Let's test out this 1994 Honda Cr125. We decked the head and the cylinder to match. Now we don't have any leaking at the head gasket. And then we changed out the main jet and the needle position in the carb. So we'll see how that goes. Holy cow, this thing could not be running better. It's gotta be the best 125 I've ever ridden. It has a ton of power, which could be from decking the head and the cylinder. But man, it is powerful. It'll pick up every gear. I've never had that on a 125 before. It's crazy. It's jetted spot on. You guys could probably hear it in the video. It sounds so good. I am really happy with the way it turned out. Alright, so you guys saw me pick up this tractor. This 1973 Cub Lowboy 154, 15 horsepower. With the attachments, came with the rototiller, the snowblower, and the mower deck. Last video we made this little garden here. We tilled it all up. We planted pumpkins in the patch right here, and then corn in the section right next to it. A couple people in the comments said I should plant watermelon, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna plant watermelon, potatoes, and green beans in the next section. So we've got to till up some more ground and do that. Also, people were concerned about the deer. I think we're gonna have to make a fence around the whole thing, unfortunately. It's gonna be pretty pricey, but it should be worth it. We're probably gonna use like 8-foot fence all the way around the whole thing. And people were also concerned about the trees. We're gonna do that with the trees as well. Because you're right, they're just gonna eat these buds on the trees for a little snack. Look at that, that's just waiting to get eaten. This is mostly for like bunnies and small rodents, so they can't chew and wreck the tree. So I'll work on that. But let's start this thing up today. It sat outside in the rain for like 3 days, so let's see if she fires right up. Choke it. Hopefully I didn't leave it on here. Nope. So choke it, clutch in. Let's see. Wow. That's pretty good. That is not bad. This thing runs great. So this section is going to be for beans and potatoes, and then we'll do the watermelons over here. So yeah, it's coming along. We'll get the fence up and hopefully that keeps everything out. But we do have to get the mower working on this thing because I want to cut some trails, but that will be a separate video doing that on this thing. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this thing's running great, working great. If you guys missed the video on this one, go check it out. Honda Cr125. It's a pretty cool bike. Alright, let's see if this thing fires up today. It's been sitting all winter. I bought this thing last year for like 1,500 bucks. Let's see if she fires. That would be a no-go. Get some gas going. you home for a couple bikes until we can get around to riding these. Well, mower worked. Got the lawn done. Looking pretty good. This is the new grass I planted when I put the driveway in. There was a lot of work to make that all even, but it turned out pretty good. This is all new grass too, right in here. You can see the green stuff is the new grass, but yeah, everything's done. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video on the Cr125, fixing that up, and the little GT80, fixing that up. We got a lot done today, and both bikes are good to go now. Those were kind of in the back of my mind for a couple weeks here, and I was putting them off and finally got around to doing them. So next one is the WR250. We got to figure that one out. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next video. And until next time, we are out.